How have you been, sir?
I'm good, and congratulations for the mileage.
Thank you very much, sir. For our viewers that are not well acquainted with you, can we just meet you, sir?
Yeah, my name is Abiola, Kosoko, the Olojo of Lagos Elect, and the Alashe of Ibutega in Ikuru Division.
Thank you very much, sir. The last time we came here, the state of the nation, things were bubbling for change, for transformation. And then today we have a kind of a new system. And, we can say they are just taking off, but things are happening. Like, the question will be, from the look of things today, presently, what is your reaction on the state of the nation, Nigeria, today?
Just like the president has been saying, that what we are feeling right now is should be equated to the pregnancy pain, and then the pregnancy pain, like he said. So we should just act like a woman and endure for a while. And I know when the policies are strongly in place, things will change.
And if you want to predict the next 3 years, with what you are sensing presently from the efforts of this present administration, what do you think will happen to Nigeria in the next 3 years?
Yeah, in the next 3 years, I see more Nigerians coming back to the country. I see the Nigerians who are creative, getting themselves recognized, and Nigerians that are productive, getting themselves also monetized. And I think politicians are beginning to see that most of their policies are things that are also affecting people at large. And I know they'll start changing. They'll start doing working towards getting change, because most of them this time around don't want to go back to the old ways of doing things. They want to start finding themselves within the community they start from. And if you don't do the rightful thing, people are ready to turn the back against them. So most of them are talking to me. I also asking them how to get involved with grassroots development. And that's what you're seeing.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Let's come to Lagos State. And knowing the changes that has also been made in this second term of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. You being a tourism expert, do you know the new commissioner for tourism, art and culture, Honorable Toke Benson?
I know her. I've not met with her before, but I know how folk she is. Knowing someone is different from knowing what the person can do. And knowing what the person can do is also different from understanding the policies of what to do. Understanding the policy of what to do is also different from having the right people, creating a platform of trust between herself and the people who are the tourism officers. Because if she doesn't do it well, and she tends to have this I know it all, civil servant will definitely let her fall. So she should call them and make them a lead in the course of making sure things are done properly.
The last session we had with you talked about some of the areas that the state needs to step up in terms of reviving the rich resources that is embedded in the tourism sector. With the changes that are being made today, do you think that there will be a tendency of changes coming up in terms of synergy between the government and the private stakeholders?
I've not seen any policy in place yet, and I've not seen any move between the ministry and the private sector. What I'm noticing is the individualistic thing of people in government in determining what to do. Not until they decide to be involved in private sector's actions and not getting their own plan in front of private sectors. Because what most usually I see government do is to take their own projects and put it in front and allow the other people's project to die. And when private sectors refuse to be part of what government is doing, it ends up not being a project. The government has a better program, has a better plan, but implementation is one of the major things. I think they should also look at how to get the tourism board in place.
Yeah, we should talk about
yes. When that one is in place, which means the private sectors getting involved, people in the traditional circle, people in the private sector, and people in diaspora. That's again we jumpstart what the government wants to do, because there's no need in the government getting involved in the tourism business. What they need to do is to create an environment, and the moment the environment is being put in place, people will come in with their fund and they will make it happen. Government will start making revenue from taxes and levies, but government involving in providing a large chunks of fund in projects that might not be visible in the next 2 years. It's like opening doors for corruption and money, capital flights. There are people around that are ready to get themselves involved in major tourism projects, and they have the wherewithal to get it done. What they need is just government approval. And so government should just make sure that those people that have projects that need language space, that need approval, they should come forward. They should be calling for people to send in applications for some kind of things. So, which means government will not need to involve themselves in financial process. What I'm expecting government to get involved in is the environment, create the environment for private investors to come in, support the traditional religion and that platform that will also orchestrate the traditional cycle of musical tourism, social cultural development, and most other things that are going into extinction within the community of Lagos as a whole needed to be looked into. And I think there's a group called the Lagos State Traditional Society or something, they call themselves ATRED or so. They are there. They needed, most time what they always request for are not being met. And they are the people that also make sure that the Lagos State governorship election comes to reality. It's in traditional regional placement within the society and the community. And that again puts a lot of fear of that's what Lagos belongs to some group of people, where Lagos belongs to the people of Lagos.
In a follow-up to this, looking at, we saw a news yesterday where the Lagos State, the Lagos State has been partnering with the entertainment sector in terms of training young individuals to become producers, to become script writers. They've been partnering with and just yesterday or day before yesterday, we saw another news of new graduates who the Lagos State government are empowering to really spice up the entertainment industry, especially Nollywood. If we come from that angle, for young tourism enthusiasts who actually are not investors, just like what you said earlier, but they have that flair to really come into the sector and try. Don't you think that there should also be a way for the Lagos State government to come up with, apart from the tourism board that you have stated, come up with ideas to attract young tourism enthusiasts, also work on how to train them and then see how they can also thrive, just like what they are doing in the entertainment industry?
Let me also remind you that before now, the likes of Abiola, Kosoko, name them, they have their own circle that they train people. And most of the people you see around you regarded these people I mentioned as their boss. So before government involvement, that thing has been in existence. So having a school for theater art or whatever, I don't see why government should get into involvement. it doesn't create anything. It's dividing more than bringing them together. Yeah, what government should do is create enabling environment. You see, we have 57 local governments and LCDs. And each one of those local governments has a lot of tourism potential attached to them, culturally, traditionally. And it is also the responsibility of the government to sit with the local government chairman and ask them to create a local tourism board. And if that one is being created, it will also attract young people who has this intention of writing, creating, and has this inherited this traditional way of doing things that can also be repackaged for the world to see. All the local governments in Lagos State are looking at property estate development. They are not looking at tourism development. The first thing you see that is related to tourism development is drinking joints, hotels. There are nothing that will bring young ones together, apart from things that make them to get involved in social vices. Script writing, with the technological advancement in the world now, you can do that using AI. So what can be done easily in someone's room? So why would you want to create an office, an institution out of it, when the Lagos State University is there, LASUTECH is there? You can create that, go and get certificate on it. And go and make Lagos State fund, what's the name? Lagos State, what's the name? Why they give people fund and apply and get fund to start something you want to start. You see, not until government stop to realize that they have no business in getting themselves involved in business. Not until they see that as a means for them to push out the best out of them. Create an environment, just like what they've done to BRT. There's a corridor for it.
Yes.
The train is also coming in. Now, it will get to a point that people will start investing in those buses. People will start getting more in providing funds for a group of investors who will buy coaches. The blue line, the red line, the orange line, that's it coming up. When those things are being put together, those corridors are being provided by people who get themselves involved. When you build theaters all over, people are not using it. The one for Lagos Island, Ms. Joke Silva, she's doing a lot about that. You have other ones in other local government. They're just there. Government should look at what is required to get it working. There are people that are ready to get involved. And it's becoming a personal thing. If you know the governor, you know the commissioner, you will be given the platform to operate. It's not supposed to be. Tourism is far more better than all that kind of thing, and it's much more larger. Look at what is happening to the western part of Nigeria. The OMA thing is going to become a multi-billion-naira business. From the Oloko that we usually know, it now results to the caterer thing, from caterer to servers, from servers to chillers. Here in Lagos is a big business. So we should look at how to turn this thing around. The Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, there's a lot. I don't think everyone that comes in as commissioners go back to look at the book of the past commissioners. I was part of the team that went around the tourist landmark in Lagos State during the time of Governor Fashola. There are records, there are plans that this next government was supposed to inherit and work on. Every government come in and start new ones, and that is why you have nothing happen. Tourism, government should look at what to do by creating an environment, nothing else. There are people that want to do a lot, but what they wanted is just approval, land allocations, and they have it, and it will be done.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We've talked about the nation and the state, so let's come to you. How's life been, and what have you been up to, sir?
Life has been what it's supposed to be. there are two things involved in being a traditional leader. You realize that you don't have a personal life, and you have the life for your immediate family and for the community. And it's demanding. If you don't know how to talk, you realize that you really generate the flair to become a good talkative. You now learn to listen more and talk less. You realize that you cannot fight for your right even when you know it is your right. Because people will say you're using your position as an influence over them. So it deterred me from being who I used to be. If you know where I am those days, I'm this agile person. I go for animal capturing, I do a lot about wildlife and entertainment industry. But right now, I do more about traditional things. I look at how to promote culture, I look at how to preserve tradition, and I think more like an elderly person, like I don't used to when I was 5-6 years ago. So it's demanding, and it's making me to add weight, and it's making me to look older. It's taking me out of the corridor of the usual entertainment I want to enjoy. It's making me to become an advisor to old and young. So stylishly, it's making me to become a judge. That's I don't want to be. But that is where destiny has pushed me to.
Well, okay. And if you also remember, the last time we came, you were planning towards the remembrance of
King Kosoko.
You were marking its the annual.
Yeah.
When it comes to the last quarter of the year, is there any other activities you are also putting together?
Yes. It's the Eshilokunde, and also the Exodus. The Exodus happened the same day of the Eshilokunde, 26th of December. Lagos was bombarded 26th of December, 1851. So that is when the mass movement occurred, and that is when you have the extension of Lagos into Etiosa, Ipechuleki, and all the rest, and usually to what you have as Lekki today. So 26 it's always a day for us to remember the bombardment of Lagos. So we call it the Exodus. So that same day, the entire descendants of the Eshilokun royal family will also be having a gathering, which is an annual ritual. We sit to meet ourselves again, and then we eat and drink and discuss how to move the family's position better than what it is. So those are the two things that we have in this last quarter. 26th of December, TBS. It used to be at TBS, but this time it's at Racecourse.
Okay.
So we're having it there. So everybody's invited.
How did you take the news of Her Royal Highness, which is your wife, becoming the MD of LTV? How did you receive it?
Yeah, I received great joy and honor. It's a thing that she deserves. She's been there for over 25 years, and I know it's a position well deserved, and that has also put her into an active position ever since. Personally, I've also been supportive to make sure that she changed the face the way it should be, and basically she's now working, making sure that the primary objective of what LTV stands for should be put into focus. The primary source of information between the government and the people, and also the platform for the government to talk to the people, and the platform for the people to get to the government. So, it's a thing that I receive with great honor, and I also use this as a moment to also tell the government thank you for making sure that they respect the growth routine paper sector, because for so long there have not been movement from the base to the top. So she has become one of that also moved from the base to the top. So that shows that the governor wants the government and the government supporting internal development and internal growth of all agencies. So Origin Garden then was sited on 2.5 acres of land. So what I did was to look for a space that is bigger, and I called this space through the support of the current commissioner of Agric. So it's a site that is bigger on 100 plot of land. So this is so huge. So your Origin Garden is coming back in a bigger form. We'll be having the biggest shopping mall in Lagos, sited on the land, an aquarium, the wildlife park, a cable car, beachfronts, ecologies, museums. You see, it's going to have the 25 numbers of small business cottages that can take care of itself. So it's huge. We're having a groundbreaking ceremony in December.
Wow. Sited in a different location other than the original one?
Now it's on the road. It's on the Ikodu Road.
Okay.
By this town called Itowu.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have the land there where you start reclamation. After so before you get to Itowu.
Yes.
So it's water facing, it's a land facing the lagoon and also facing the river body. So the vessels are all around it now. Something is coming out huge, and for every 6 months we'll be having new faces, unveiling new faces. So we're looking at getting employment opportunities for about 16,000 people in full stream. So that is it.
And you said that the new Origin Garden, the space size is what again?
15 acres of land.
Wow. So what happens to the
yes, I'm also going back. That is also becoming a bonding terminal. Yeah, so we are expanding into 50 acres of land. So we want to see how we can create a bonding terminal out of it. And that again, we change the face of the housing access and create employment opportunities. When traditional position is supposed to be used to create opportunities for the young and the old, and also make sure that you use it to expand the community with better opportunities for the future to inherit. And that is what I'm trying to do. Because little are things that I can sleep with, little are things that I can eat now. So no matter the amount of money I save, I can't use it. So I'm supposed to make people to feel the euphoria of where I am. And that is what I'm doing.
And the other axis of the Origin Garden is on the waterway.
Yeah.
We also have a little ferry terminal not that far from.
Yes.
You said when you expand, eventually that very Origin Garden will also be used to see how water transit can be done.
That is what is happening now. Yeah, that is transit. Of course, that is where we are having the terminal bonding, the container terminal container bonding terminal on the 50 hectares of land. So what we want to see is to see how we can make Ikorodu an attractive place like Apapa. So instead of going to clear your goods in Apapa, you can clear your goods in Ikorodu and use the connecting roads to the express road. So it's going to reduce traffic, the heavy duty trucks on the Lagos road. So if the government is having their plans, private investors should also be having that. So those are the things that we should marry together. We're working with the agenda of the current governor of Lagos to shift the transportation bottlenecks out from the Lagos road into the interior, and that will also help the government to shift developmental plan into the interior part of Lagos State.
Advise an investor who wants to go into these different.
Yes. What you see, not writing a letter to the government through the ministries, that is the coordinating ministry doesn't give you the opportunity to get access to all this platform. Most importantly, that's why you see land purchase from the indigenous people is becoming rampant. Yes. Because that is the only way you can get yourself recognized. But government have acquired so much of land that they don't even mention those lands to people. But you see, most of these investors should start doing lots of research. So if they do research, they'll get to know where those things are placed and how they can also go. Because you see, there are conflicts of interest between investors too. That is making government not to want to be involved.
Yes.
Because when you pick Ikorodu, somebody will say he wants Ikorodu. You have Badagry. Lagos State is surrounded by water. What you need to do is to look for those places and get yourself involved properly. And make sure you make government know that government doesn't need to do the road. You can do the road based on tax returns.
Yeah.
But you see, investors are also trying to cut corners. And government officials now are so brilliant that they used to be investors before they became politicians. So they know what they know when you're trying to cut corners. So the most important thing is the government should ask more from the various ministries to design a blueprint that will attract investors, not a blueprint that will be created for selected investors that are not ready to even invest. Sometimes they give allocations to people that will also sell.
Yeah.
I think presentation should be done properly, following through the due process for selection processes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. This is how we will call it a day, and it has always, whenever we have this seat with you, it's always enlightening and inspiring. We wouldn't let you go without asking you to give a message to the young ones, because now we are in the times where the economy is kind of stagnant. Price of commodities is on the high. The dollar is crashing. The naira is crashing due to the dollar, the market. And the news we see mostly these days are kind of in terms of the ritual and all that stuff that are happening, that the youth are not, that just the desperation is going too high. On a parting note, what would be your message, most especially to the Nigerian youth, on being having that mindset to persevere and also focus on themselves to be very productive?
Yes, my words to the young ones and to everybody is be creative and ready to be productive. When you are creative and when you're ready to be productive, somebody somewhere will see and provide a platform for you to use. That's the way it is. Before now, when they finish secondary school, those days in the 70s, they begged them to come get employment. Now we are begging people to provide employment opportunities for us. But when you are creative, you ended up becoming employers of labor, because somebody will see you somewhere and provide a platform for you to be productive. So now, it's tough time now. Spend your time to be creative. And when you're creative, you get to the point of a stronger point. People will see it as a product that will finance. That is my words.
Okay. Want to say thank you once again, sir, for this opportunity, and we look forward to more attracting in terms of what you do, hearing more good news from your quota, and we also want to wish you a successful festival which is coming up on December, and we want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity. All the best.
Thank you so much, and my doors are open for you guys for whatever content you want us to put together. That will make you to get more subscribers. I'll be ready to do that with you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Cheers.